Oh, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my YouTube channel once again. Today we're going to do the review of the Razer Deathadder Elite. So let's get started and let's get right to it. Get started right here, right now. So if you guys hear background noise, it's my AC is on and my room is fucking hot like a sauna. All right, so let's get started. But first, let's try something different. But before we start there, I don't want you to think this review is disrespectful to Razer. Or any other company, whatever mouse I review. Basically, this is my own opinion. It's up to you. You want to take it or leave it. Because by the end of the day, everybody has their own favorite company. Everybody can do good with a gaming mouse. Doesn't matter what it's from. So let's get right to it. Okay, so first let's talk about pricing. Regular price, it goes for $69.99. The cheapest I've ever seen so far on Newegg, which is $47, but that's not directly from Newegg, even though Newegg is showing the product, but it's from a third-party online vendor. B&H, which is one of my favorite stores, sells it for $60, and Best Buy they have it on sale for $60. But I think when I did the unboxing video, they was having this on sale for $54.99, which is an amazing deal. Also, let's talk about the sensor, which I'm surprised that they're not using the 3360. They're kind of using the 3389. And the reason why I want to find out, I want to make sure, yes, I am right. I want to find out what sensor they really do use. So they do using that sensor. The left click and right click switches using mechanical switches, which is rated to 50 million clicks, which is awesome. Let's talk about how good this mouse is when it comes to comfort. It is awesome. I play Overwatch competitive. I've been playing Battlefield 1, even went back to Battlefield 3. Felt really comfortable. Didn't have any complaints with discomfort. It was an amazing mouse. And Razer Deathadder came. It was a while that these guys finally designed the mouse the way I wanted it. Not from the beginning. That you remember the 3G sensor, that the whole side was glossy as hell. I kind of wish they can add like a rubberized grips to the where the thumb button is at, and also to the right side of the mouse, also for that way you can get better grip. Really comfortable mouse. But now the defect is when I put pressure, I hear like a weird, like this is not even being secure yet, but if I squeeze it, it kind of gives me that little bit of a weird sound. Probably it could be a defect, but again, if you bought this in Best Buy, you can easily go back the next day or that same day. You want to go beast mode and get another one. But it really doesn't bother me. But the only thing that when I hear that sound is when I lift up the mouse and then replace it back down. I will hear it. Now, it uses 16K DPI, which I think is extremely overkill, which we'll get to the software part. I'll explain to you. But again, I'm not a big fan of Razer. I think by far, in my opinion, I said this numerous of times to anybody if we're talking about game mouses. As I said, listen, by the end of the day, people don't like Razer, but if you talk about the Razer Deathadder, people will respect that mouse. And I do respect this mouse because it's famous around the world. People admire this mouse. I do admire it to a certain point, but at the same time, it's like, okay, if I'm gonna spend $69, unless I get it cheaper, that's a different story. But if I cannot get this thing cheaper than $70, there are some other gaming mouses out there that you can get, and it could be better, or it could be even better, or something similar. Who knows? But for me, I respect this mouse, but at the same time, I just don't like the company. That's just me. Now, what I love about this mouse also is it has a really nice braided cable, very light, very flexible, which some of them, they're like freaking stiff as fuck. And I'm not a big fan of it. That's the main reason why I went with wireless. Unless it's like a plastic cable in the world, that's a different story, or rubberized cable. Now, another thing also, what DPI I use? Well, good question. I use 400 DPI. I think even back then, I used to use very high sensitivity, like 2000 or 1800 DPI. That was with a G5, but like honestly, I use 400 DPI. I'll show you guys here a demonstration why I like to use lower DPI, but then again, I increase the fuck out of my sensitivity. So I'm gonna bring the camera right here for a bit. So of course, my mouse is from here, and this is why I'm playing Overwatch at 10 in-game sensitivity. So from here to all the way right here, that's already 360. I wish I have a ruler to show you guys how many inches or centimeters, but unfortunately I don't have that right now. But which I will make a separate video by getting a ruler or a tape measure and then do it again. But that's how far I will go with to make a 360. So pretty much just put it back right there. Now let's go to the software aspect and let's continue from there. Okay, so let's open up the software right here. So this is the software customization. You can really add functions or even macros to all those buttons. You got about 9 buttons in total to program with. I'm counting also a scroll wheel, yes. And you can also create your own profile, which is awesome. And I believe you can also link to a program, kind of like the Logitech software, or I think Corsair does it also, but I'm not quite sure. And I believe Rockcat also does this also, that you can set up functions, macros for one game, and when that game launches, that profile activates when the game is launched and you're ready to go and kick some butt. So let's talk about the performance section, and we're gonna go to configuration sensitivity stages. So you got about up to 5 stages you can really go to, from 100 to 16K increments of 100. So pretty much you can go bananas on this software. Poly rate, you can go to 125, 500, or 1,000. Usually I mess around between 1,000 to 500 to still doing a little bit of fine tuning, trying to see which is the best, results, which one I do better with 1,000 or 500. Now lighting, it is the fun part that people love. I'll be honest, I even spend my time messing with the lighting. So you got like gazillion gazillion lighting options color wise. So you literally can go red you want. Actually, it's not showing red, so I'm on a beach. So you can go even red you want, pretty much, or you can have it customized and really go crazy. So let's say you want to kind of this color. You hit okay. Now it's gonna change that to blue, but let's link it. Really, you can go crazy. I know the camera's showing like it's white, but it's like kind of like a light baby blue. And also right here, you got their surface calibration, or you can adjust the lift off distance. As you see, mine is extremely low. Now you do have Razer mouse mats, which I'm going to disable this. Now if you have one of these, once you use, like say for example, I want to use the Goliath, even though I don't have the Goliath, it already sets it automatically to that sensor with that surface to give you the best performance. And you can still adjust the lift off distance. It's really up to you. Now over here you can program your macros, Chroma app, which I never done this before, and then of course this is another Razer software that I don't get into, because honestly I mostly care about, this is where I mostly spend my time at, is performance. If I really want to customize my buttons. So there you go. That is the Razer software. Now let's get on to my final thoughts. My final thoughts, what I think about this mouse. Well, good question. I would say it was worth it to a certain extent. Now this is just me. If the mouse costs $69.99 and I cannot get this thing nowhere else cheaper, then that's when I start looking at other companies. Like literally you can get like a Zowie mouse for that same price or even cheaper. Go with the EC1A, which is almost the same size. But then again, if you're a person who loves features like using software, then Zoe's out of the question. But again, like for $69.99 I can get the Logitech G403. But if I can get this mouse cheaper and that's I can only afford, then the Razer Deathadder, it's a good mouse to go with. Now for me, I respect this mouse. I love this mouse. Like honestly, I would have bought this mouse if it was cheaper, or a little bit cheaper than the G403, all that stuff, or the Zowie mouses, or even Rockcat, which that's the mouse I would love to try. Again, especially with the new optical sensor. But by the end of the day, I have to give this mouse respect. Comfort and everything, it's almost getting close to hitting 10 out of 10. But honestly, since a little bit problems with the defects, I'm going to give it a 9.4. Just because I have this problem with the defects and everything. But by the end of the day, it's an amazing mouse. If you can get it cheaper, then you're in a really, and I mean, you're really good to go. Honestly, really good, comfortable mouse. I recommend it if you can get it for a good price. But Razer did always a good job with this mouse. And any questions, as I always say, put your questions down in the comment section and answer them as soon as possible. Or any questions about other game mouses you want me to review. As you know, I'm going to be reviewing, still messing with the G Pro. And I also have a present that I bought. I treat myself because my birthday is going to be next week. I treat myself a little bit, and I wanted to get this mouse for a while. So there you go. I'm not going to tell you what mouse it is, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, comment, subscribe. Please be safe. I'll talk to you guys later.